कर्नल त्यागवीर रघावा सर, स्वागत है आपका मेरे चैनल हर्षिल लुथरा पर। और ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा मूवमेंट है कि आप एक इंडियन आर्मी का ऑफिसर कर्नल आज मेरे चैनल पर है। तो मेरे को बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि आप मेरे चैनल पर हो। तो सबसे पहले बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर। और आप कैसा फील कर रहे हो सर?
First of all, Harshit, thank you so much that you decided to bring on an army officer on your channel. And I'm also happy that an engineering graduate of communication is keen on doing such podcast wherein he wanted to bring in army officer on his channel. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सर। तो सर सबसे पहले मेरे व्यूअर्स आपके बारे में थोड़ा सा जानना चाहेंगे। वैसे तो आपके बारे में मतलब आइडिया सबको मिल ही गया, बट थोड़ा सा अपनी लाइफ जर्नी के बारे में बता दो तो सही रहेगा। तो हु इज कर्नल रघावा सर?
Yeah, it is not Raghava, it is Raghav.
Raghav.
So let me correct you right in the beginning, okay? Anyway, so Harshit, you see, I'm from a very humble background. Rather you can say the farmer's family. तो मेरा जन्म और मेरी स्कूलिंग डिस्ट्रिक्ट अलीगढ़ में एक तहसील है अतरौली, एंड वहाँ एक छोटा सा गांव है कखेथन. That is the place where I was born and brought up, and I did my schooling till 12th class. And thereafter, I had some relative who was in army. That time he was captain. When I was growing, I was maybe 8th or 9th class. So I was pretty impressed the way he used to conduct, he used to dress up, he used to speak. One can say that if he's standing among the 100 people, you can pinpoint that this gentleman is from a different background and different organization. Yeah. So that was the one inspiration whenever I saw him. So somewhere back of the mind was there, yeah, this organization, come what may, kabhi mauka milega, to we will also get into that. Yeah. And by the time when I came in the 10th class, it was already 12th class was the basic qualification for appearing into the ND examination, National Defense Academy. Yeah. So he was my Fufaji who was that time captain. So he sent me across that application form from UPSC for the NDA. And I did try twice. But both the time I was not successful. Despite that, I did very well. I was a very, I must say, middle student. Means I was topper in my schools and college and everything was there. But despite that, I could not succeed in the ND examination. But that thought always remained in the mind that the one of the job or one of the profession which I want to do is the best is that army officer. Then when it didn't happen, even after the 12th class, because that basic qualification was the 12th and I tried and could not make it, then I thought of doing the engineering. In engineering also that time, you know, there were very few options for the private. It used to be only the government colleges like Roorkee Engineering and Aligarh Muslim University and all. Yeah. So I appeared for the first time, but there also I could not succeed. So somehow the dream which I was carrying of becoming an army officer, oblique a class 1 officer, wasn't seem to be happening very soon. So instead of wasting year after year, the people try again and again, what I did, I took a admission into my 3-year engineering diploma course. Okay. And there with my background, academic background, which I was quite brilliant, I must say, compared to the others in my till 12th class. So I excelled very well in my diploma, where I topped into diploma. I was 3rd in the UP Board of Technical Education. And I got all the prizes of that institute, senior, best boy of the institute. Even I became a general secretary. And that is the way I did my schooling and the diploma. Thereafter, I went on working. I worked in the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Department of Electronics, Delhi. And during this period only, because any class 1 service, if you want, you need to be graduated initially. So I did my graduation in electronics and telecommunication while working. And once I passed that exam by 1985, 1979, or so, I did my 12th, and then 1983, I did my diploma. And within 2 years, I completed my graduation in electronics from Delhi. And that is something called IET, Institution of Electronic and Telecom Engineers. And that is when I applied for this again, army thing, when I saw the advertisement. And finally, in the first attempt, I made it. And that's the history.
Wow. Sir, like, आपकी काफी एक मोटिवेटिंग स्टोरी है. लाइक फेलियर्स से फिर आपने बहुत हैंडल करा और फिर उसके बाद आपने मतलब हार नहीं मानने जो एक वो होता है स्पिरिट होती है इंडियन आर्मी की, वो आपके अंदर झलकती है सर आपकी स्टार्टिंग से ही. और सर तो मैं यही पूछना चाहूंगा कि लाइक सबसे पहले लोगों को पता लगता है कि इंडियन सोल्जर्स, इंडियन आर्मी का ये काम होता है कि सरहद पर खड़े होना या फिर लोगों की सेवा करना, बट एक एक्चुअल ऑफिसर ही बता सकता है कि एक्चुअल में उनका काम क्या होता है. तो थोड़ा सा उनकी वर्क एरिया, वर्क लाइफ के बारे में अगर आप बता दो तो ज्यादा सही है.
Harshit, what I will say is that joining army, and especially working as an officer in the army, it's not only a job. It is a way of life. It is basically how you live the life, and the life, that too wonderful life. Okay. So, see, the work is one side, but what you are actually doing is you are morning, you are getting up, you are going for the PT. Then after that, you go to office, say from 8 o'clock to the 2 o'clock, do your office work. If it's exercise, you do the exercises. Other thing, exercise, I'm doing operational exercises. And the evening again, you come back, have lunch, little rest, and thereafter come back in the evening again for the games and sports. Okay. And then again, you sit in the office and you do the office work and other thing. So you see, this is the only organization. I don't think there is any other organization in India or anywhere where you are paid for keeping yourself fit. What I mean to say, that government gives you a special time that to keep yourself fit, that you do the PT in the morning, then play games in the evening. Which organization in this corporate gives you that time? So that is the time for yourself to keeping fit.
Yeah.
So beside the office work, beside your work, you are keeping yourself fit for that one day which will come, or which never comes. Most of the time never comes. The war doesn't happen every time and again. War happens once in a lifetime. And if you see the war, you are a lucky one. Okay. So what I'm saying is, it's a holistic living of life. You are looking after your health so holistically, and you keep fit. So that is the work culture in the army. And otherwise, you are made to do everything. You do technical things, you do non-technical things, you do office work, you do adventures, you do play games, you play PT, everything. So there is nothing which you are not exposed to.
Yeah.
Whatever your ambitions or whatever your you want to do in the life, every possible thing is available in the army, or I must say in the defense. It is up to you what you want to do or where you want to excel.
तो लाइक जैसे आपने इतनी सारी बातें बताई हैं कि फिजिकली आपको फिट रखा जाता है और वैसे भी होता है, तो सर लाइक मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि फिजिकली फिट होना और साथ में मेंटली फिट होना भी जरूरी होता है एक इंडियन आर्मी को ज्वाइन करने के लिए, एक पर्सन के लिए. तो सर उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बता सकते हो कि वो बंदा अगर ज्वाइन करना चाहता है तो वो कैसा कर सकते हैं, कैसे कर सकते हैं अपने आप को मेंटली भी फिट और फिजिकली फिट.
So Arshit, it is like this. You see, when you as a student want to join that, first thing is that, of course, there is no shortcut rather than being the physically fit. Physically fit, so you got to be there. Okay. As far as the mentally fitness is concerned, that you should have the kind of positive attitude, winning mindset. You never have a feeling of failure. Okay. You don't fear of failure. You should never have that fear of failure. You should have that kind of aggressive attitude of achieving something and doing something. So if you have that kind of attributes, then of course you are proactive. Okay. You are integral to the system, your integrity of the highest order. These are some of the things, discipline. These are some of the basic things the one person, when you go for a selection of the army, they look for it. You see, what is there is, it is something like when you go for a whether written exam or go for a SSB, Service Selection Board, They are looking for something like a torch, torch. So what a torch? That you imagine the torch is a person who is going to appear for examination. You are not an officer. You are not going as an officer when you are going for the exam or for the SSB. But you are a person who can be made officer, who can be converted into the academy after the training as an officer. So torch, खाली torch है, उसमें सेल डाल दिया आपने और ऑन कर दिया तो बत्ती जल गई. ओके, तो आप खाली टॉर्च की जगह आ रहे, सेल जो है वो अकेडमी में जाके डाल दिए जाते हैं, आपको ट्रेन किया जाता है, एंड देन यू बिकम ए परफेक्ट ऑफिसर. ओके, so as student who are aspiring to be, they go with the open mind. Okay, no baggage, no biases, nothing. They just go with the open mind as a clean student and put all your best, give your best. Okay, and physical fitness, mental fitness is that read the books, read good books. Okay, read books, keep yourself abreast with the general knowledge, keep abreast with your what is happening around you. You should have an analytical mind. If you have all these things together, which are required to be checked during the SSB, I'm sure one can cut out for that, being an officer.
Sir, like मैंने ऐसा सुना है कि इंडियन आर्मी के जो पर्सन होते हैं, लाइक सोल्जर्स होते हैं, वो स्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं और वेल डिसिप्लिन्ड होते हैं अपनी लाइफ में. तो ये जो उनकी स्ट्रिक्टनेस होती है, डिसिप्लिननेस होती है, ये उनकी जॉब से आती है, मतलब उनके जो वर्क एरिया है जहाँ वो कॉर्पोरेट, मतलब उनका जो काम है उस लाइफ से आती है, उससे पहले से ही उनके मतलब डिसिप्लिन होते हैं उनकी लाइफ में. तो आप उस पर थोड़ा सा बता दो.
सी, जिंदगी में डिसिप्लिन होना बहुत जरूरी है. It's not only the army that you have to be disciplined. If you are not disciplined in your school time or college time, can you perform? Can you get a good grades? Can you excel? You can't. What is discipline? Discipline is that you get up in time, you do your things in time, you prepare yourself well in time. Okay, whatever you are supposed to do, everything you should do well. Okay, that is the discipline. Okay, keep yourself fit, keep yourself engaged in the things which you are required to do. So if you follow all these things, that's a discipline. Now, when you join the army, see, you can't afford to be indisciplined or missing anything which you are supposed to do, because army means there is a life and death. Okay. Yeah. If you don't take action in time, if you are not disciplined, then naturally you will lose the lives, or the people who are in your team, they will lose the life. Yeah. Okay. So the discipline, even the second, if you miss out on something, you will lose the life. So discipline is not something that only army person should have. Anybody for that matter, whether you're in the public sector, private sector, or in the army, or even you are a student, if you are disciplined, you will reap the rewards. If you respect the time, you will reap the rewards. Okay. So discipline is something that which is, yes, army it become all the more important, because if you are not disciplined, for example, you are on a firing range, okay, and your Ustad is telling that by firing की जो नाल है बंदूक की, उसको left right नहीं करना है, और आपने गलती से भी, despite his telling you did it left, and there are your colleagues are there, you will kill somebody. Why you have to be strict there? Because if you are not strict, people bound to commit mistakes. Okay. Yeah. So you become strict, you get punishment only because of that, so that you don't commit such a blunder by which you lose the life. And that is why it is all the more important to be very strict and disciplined into the army.
सर, लाइक ये क्वेश्चन आपके लिए थोड़ा पर्सनल है कि लाइक जैसे जब आप कॉम्बेट बन गए थे, मतलब आपने जब आर्मी ज्वाइन कर ली थी, और उसके बाद जब आप वापस एक बार घर आ रहे थे, तो वो मोमेंट कैसी थी आपके लिए कि लाइक अब मैं अपने घर जा रहा हूँ, फैमिली मेंबर्स की क्या थी, नेबर्स की क्या थी आपके, तो उसको थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो सर, क्योंकि वो मोमेंट मेरे को ऐसा लगता है बहुत ही प्रीशियस मोमेंट होती है एक पर्सन की लाइफ में, एक सोल्जर की लाइफ में.
Yeah, so I just give you a little background, Harshit. You see, first time I tried to appear for this NDA exam, that was 1979. Yeah. Okay. And 1979, 1980, both year I tried and I could not succeed. So it was a failure, but I was not, see, the failure is something which, unless you quit, you are not a failure. You can continue. Okay. If you are continuing and you keep putting on effort, that is not a failure. Okay. So I was continuing that, and I had back of mind, I will do it. So once I have done my graduation and I appeared for this, Before that, I have appeared for a civil service examination also when I was working in Delhi in the Department of Electronics. Okay. Because immediately after my diploma, I worked in HAL Nasik around 2 years, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. And then I moved on, came to Delhi and I was working for 1 year in Department of Electronics. And that period of time only, I appeared for civil service exam, that is preliminary examination. And also, I have applied for this SSB of the Army. So preliminary, I have appeared. SSB, I have gone there. And in the meantime, I got selected. Okay. When I got selected, I went to academy. So you come back after 6 months. Okay. But you know that I was so ambitious that time because I was very used to that. I try one job and then second job, as I mentioned to you. In addition to this HAL and department, I got through even Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. I got through in railways. But you can work one place at a time. So I carried all my mains book. I bought all the mains book from Delhi and carried to Indian Military Academy. That I will try appearing for the civil services main examination from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Though I was under training there, but you know, Indian Military Academy, you don't know when the morning and when is the evening. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then I thought, okay, enough is enough. Even if I can make it to the civil services, but not sure I can next time make it to the army again, because the kind of selection process is there in the army, whether it is medical, whether it is SSB, no other organization conducts such a tough procedure of selection. Okay. You undergo 5 days of SSB, then another 7 days for your medical. Every part of your body is checked, every part. So then I decided, I think I am cut out for this now and nothing else to be tried. And I brought back all the books and kept it at home. My grandmother was that time alive. And when I came back, they were all very happy. And of course, my mother, when I went to join, she never wanted me to join because I was the only son. Yeah. Okay. And once I insisted that, because that was my dream and I wanted to join, then finally she said that, okay, if you are going there, do join, but don't change your habits. Yeah. And that was the one thing, because they were scared of that. Once you reach there, you will start smoking, you will start drinking, you will start doing everything. So I promised that. And of course, I was not going to do that because I never had such kind of habits even before going there. So I could have not started all of a sudden. And I maintained that throughout my army career. I remained pure vegetarian. I remained non-smoker, non-drinker. Everything means as it is. And that promise which I kept with my mother, I kept it. So that is the way I came back 6 months and kept my books and again went for this. And no regrets. Wonderful evening I had in the army throughout for 24 years.
सर लाइक जैसे आपकी जो इंडियन आर्मी जब आपने ज्वाइन किया था एट द टाइम ऑफ 1985 और जो आप 2022 की आर्मी ऑफिसर्स को देखते हो, तो आपको क्या-क्या चेंजेस लगते हैं, या कि लाइक ये हमारे टाइम में नहीं थे, या फिर जो आजकल के यूथ सोल्जर्स बन रहे हैं तो उनके अंदर आप क्या मेंटालिटी देखते हो उनकी, तो उसको थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो कि लाइक आपकी मेंटालिटी क्या रहती थी और आपकी मेंटालिटी क्या है.
See, Harshit, there is not much of a change. Army ethos remain the same. Okay. Once you enter into the army, then everyone become a same. Everyone start thinking in the same line. Okay. There is a credo in the academy which is taught to every one of us. Okay. When you join the army, and that credo says that your country is always first, forever. Okay. Thereafter come the man which you command, and thereafter your welfare and yourself. So you come to the third number. So those ethos are developed in everyone. Okay. So whatever you are outside, whether today or 20 years back, or 30 years back, or 40 years back, once you reach there, or once you are trained, everybody becomes same. Okay. You come from any background, you come from anywhere, any area of the country. Okay. You have studied anywhere, then your ethos are same. And once your ethos are same, then definitely you know that your religion, your everything become that olive green uniform. So everybody becomes same.
Yeah.
The only difference which has happened now of late is that now the army has become a highly technical. Earlier it was those equipments, of course,
Yeah.
but we were working with the same equipment. Now everything is digitalized and everything is highly technical. Then there is a complete automation of weapon systems. So those are the things which have changed now. And now the everywhere, including the infantry or any other arms and services, a lot of technical graduates are joining. Even the computer science, and there is a need of that, because you need that kind of people now who are very techno savvy, and they are doing. So that is the only difference. Otherwise, the army ethos will remain the same. They are still same, and there is no change in that.
Yeah. सर लाइक आपकी जो जर्नी थी या आपकी जो जब जॉब थी सोल्जर की, तो आपको वॉर में भी जाना पड़ा होगा, और जैसे डेथ एक्सपीरियंसेस और लाइफ रिस्क के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि वो हर टाइम एक सोल्जर के माइंड में रहता है, या फिर जो मतलब माइंडसेट के बारे में अगर मैं बात करूं थोड़ी सी सोल्जर की, तो वो क्या होता है?
So let me tell you, see, once you have gone through the training, see, fear is something which is a emotional, it's an emotion.
Yeah.
Everybody has that fear of death. Okay, it's not that everybody doesn't have a fear of death, but you know, courage is not something which is opposite of fear. Courage is something you take action in the presence of fear. Okay, when you take action in the presence of fear, that is the courage. Okay. So army, once you have gone through the training, once you remain in the unit, when you do the training and exercises, you are a courageous. You take courageous. So whatever fear is there, even if there is a fear, you take action in the presence of that fear, and then the fear goes away. You know what is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. 99% fear never comes true. Okay. 99% there is no fear which comes true. It's all something in the mind which is made. You keep thinking, overthinking, and then it's a fear is there. But you take that action in the presence of fear, that fear disappears. Okay. So even during the war, when you have a mission, and you have an aim or you have a goal that I have to do that, that time you forget about everything. That see, you are destined for that. You are ready to sacrifice yourself to achieve in the interest of your nation. Okay. So there is no reason that you should not do your task, or you should not take action just because that you are fearful. No, that is where the courage comes. And everyone in the army, once he has been trained and his training has been perfect and he knows his job well, then there is no question of fear coming in. And everybody takes action, and then you achieve your goals.
तो सर आपकी फैमिली का क्या, मतलब उनके मन में तो एक डर रहता है, क्योंकि वो तो मतलब जो सोल्जर्स की ट्रेनिंग होती है और उसके उनसे नहीं गुजरे होते, तो उनको, आपकी फैमिली को आपके लिए रोज चिंता होती रहती होगी, तो वो आपको कई बार बताते भी होंगे कि लाइक आज हमारे को आपकी चिंता हो रही थी, या कुछ मतलब आप वॉर पे जा रहे हो तो आप ठीक रहना, तो उसकी जो फीलिंग होती है वो आप थोड़ा सा बता दो तो।
Harshit, let me tell you, let me put to rest this feeling by anybody who is listening this podcast. See, the families of army officers are much stronger than even the army officer himself. Over a period of time, they become so strong because they know that anything can happen anytime. So they are always prepared. They are always prepared. There are cases where the lady wife just married, had a 2-year child, okay, and the husband died in the action. And what she should have done, she did not do that. She just gone back in the corner of the house and she started crying, and then the whole life she is crying. No, there have been cases that within the first death anniversary of her husband, she joined the army back. She herself became an army officer and she served the country. So that is kind of the family we have. So the lady wives or the families of army officer, whosoever are there, they are very strong. They are the like a second wheel of the chariot. Okay, they run the household when husband is not there. When the family, when he's in the operation, it is the family who takes care of everything. And emotionally, mentally, they're very tough, very tough. So it's not that they will every time call you and disturb you. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Of course, as I said, fear is always a emotion.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop you from taking the action what you are supposed to take in the interest of the nation. There have been cases where the families have come out much stronger even after the worst of the situation which had happened to the husbands.
So like emotional intelligence is how much necessary for a soldier? तो आप उस पे क्या सोचते हो?
It's very important. This is one of the thing which is checked during the this SSB exam. How emotionally you are strong. Let me give you just one incident. That you see, there is one formula. E plus R is equal to O. Now, how it works? E is the event and R is reaction oblique response. And O is outcome. Now, this event, in the environment, you can't stop the events. Events are happening every second.
Yeah.
Something or else is always happening, which you can't control.
Yeah.
Okay. Those events could be man-made. Those events could be natural events.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are not under your control. Okay. So event will continue. Now, what is which is under control is plus R. That R is reaction or response.
Yeah.
Now, reaction is something when you react, the outcome may not be the desired one.
Yeah.
But if you respond to the event, then the outcome will be the desired one. Let me give an example. For example, you are driving and suddenly you met with an accident. It is not your mistake. The two-wheeler guy he was driving rashly and met with the accident. Now there are two ways of it. You get out of that. You see that what damage has been done. Okay. What this guy has been hurt. You try to explain him, take him to the in the car and go and admit him in the hospital so that he get revert because he has been injured. Okay. That is the right response because you have controlled the situation and the outcome will be better. Okay. There will not be further complication. But the reaction is that you have hit, let it be his mistake, but you run away from there. You reacted in a way, that selfish way that you run away. But that guy who has been hit because of his mistake only, he is injured, he may lose life because he did not get a right treatment at the right time. That is the way you reacted. So response is something, when you act responsibly, then the outcome will always be the one which is desired. But if you react, then the outcome may be negative and which you don't desire it. So that is where the emotions come. That is where the emotions. So that is the emotional intelligence, how good you are in controlling your emotions. Instead of fighting at that point of time, you took an action to save the life. Okay. That is what the emotional intelligence is. So how well you can channelize your emotional energy in doing something good, that is your emotional intelligence.
Wow. So like इंडियन आर्मी में बहुत सारी पोस्ट होती है लाइक कर्नल की, जैसे आप कर्नल रहे हो, लेफ्टिनेंट की, जनरल की, कैप्टन की, ब्रिगेडियर की, तो इन सब की ये पोस्ट कैसे कैसे डिफर करती है और इनका वर्क क्या होता है, मतलब कौन किसको लीड करता है, जैसे कैप्टन का काम क्या होता है या फिर कर्नल का काम क्या होता है, तो थोड़ा सा इन पे बता दो सर.
See, there is not much of a difference in the work. Work is everyone is that you have to safeguard your country. Okay. You are armed forces. Armed forces means your action should be in the interest of that adversaries should not be able to hurt you or harm you.
Yes.
That is written this thing for everyone, whether lieutenant, captain, major. These are the ranks that as you grow, your responsibility increases. For example, if you are lieutenant, you will be commanding maybe 10 people. Okay, you are responsible for the lives of 10 people, and you are responsible to execute the mission which is tenable by 10 people and one officer. Okay, so as an officer, you are responsible for their lives also, and at the same time to achieve the mission also, achieve the goal. Okay, when you become a captain, so the 10 people is a section level. When you become a captain, then you are at a platoon level. So maybe 30, okay, 30%. Then you become a responsible for 30 people. And you will be given the task which is tenable by 30 people or platoon level. Okay. Then you become a major, then you are commanding a company. Okay. Then bigger troops. Okay. Then you become a colonel, you are commanding a battalion where you are responsible for 1,000 people. So the organization keep increasing or bigger and bigger. The number of people you are responsible for their welfare, their task or execution of tasks, that keep increasing. Okay, it doesn't affect the basic fundamental task of yours, that you have to perform your duties in such a way that whatever your area of responsibility or whatever your responsibility, that you should implement or that you should perform. So as you grow in the service, as you grow in the ranks, your responsibility keep increasing. Authority also keep increasing, but the responsibility is more. When you become a brigadier, then you will have 3 battalions. The CO is a commanding officer of a battalion. Brigadier is commanding officer of a 3 battalions. So 3 COs will report to the brigadier. Similarly, for a 1 CO commanding officer, that is colonel, there will be 3 majors. Or majors are more, but there will be 3 or 4 companies. Okay, there are other appointments. Similarly, under 1 major, there may be 3 or 4 captains. 1 captain, there may be 2 or 3 lieutenants. It is like this, hierarchy goes on. When become a major general, then will be 3 brigadiers under him, or 3 brigades will be under him. Okay. Likewise, you keep growing, your responsibility grows, your job requirement grows, but at the same time, your rank also grows. So that is the only thing. Otherwise, basic responsibility of defending your area of responsibility remain the same.
Like फूड सप्लाई के बारे में आप क्या कहोगे? जैसे लाइक वॉर का टाइम होता है तो फूड सप्लाई कितनी मतलब आपकी कैसी रहती है, और मतलब आपको खाना कैसे पहुंच पाता है, और कितने दिन तक आपको भूखा भी रहना पड़ सकता है, मतलब एक सोल्जर को? तो आप उसको बताओ.
See, in general, the army is the best logistically maintained organization. Best. Wherever you are, your food will reach. And not only that, best of the food you will reach. You get everything wherever you are. Okay? Wherever you are. Whether you are on the top of a hill or mountain, or whether you are in jungles, or whether you are in desert, the supply will always be there. Okay? Army moves on the stomach. Okay? You can't remain unfed to fight the war. Okay? But there are situations, I give you an example of my detachment where I was posted way back in 1991. This detachment was at the height of around 10,000 feet. But the kind of severity was there, inclement weather. It used to experience snowfall up to the level of 10 feet, more than 10 feet snowfall in the winter time. Okay. So now to reach that place, you can only walk. You can't go by road. So from the road head to reach to the detachment's location, you have to walk actually for 3 hours. And this climb used to be 70 to 80 degrees. That was the kind of climb. So what used to be done, because in the winter, the road becomes so slippery because of the snowfall and you can't walk on that. Yeah. So then winter stocking is done. I'm telling you the answer to the question that what you do in such a scenario. So that winter stocking is done with the help of mules. जो घोड़ा खच्चर उन पर लगा के लेके जाते हैं और वहां जाके शाम store your winter stock for the next 6 months. 6 months you are okay because there is no snow, so you can walk and this thing. So during those 6 months, you stock the ration for another 6 months of winter. Okay, because the snow will fall and then snow will melt. So altogether it becomes 5 to 6 months before the area becomes clean. So that is the time you stock it and then you use it. So there are various ways and means of you get certain tinned items. Like if it is a vegetarian, those tinned items with DRDO prepares it. Okay, and those are the things which are used. Now there is another organization which is called Special Forces. Their officers and jawans sometimes they go and do the operation in the enemy territory. Now that time you may not have a sufficient food because everything has to be on the body, and you may run out of that ration, whatever is required, because you may get stuck there. So that time you are taught how to kill snake, make a meat of it, how to kill other things, or how to survive on the, this is called jungle survival. Jungle में कैसे survive करना है, वो that everything is taught. That is all part of the training, and they do survive. That is all wonderful learnings. We have all gone through that. But those who are special forces, they go very rigorously. They are very mentally tough. They're superb in the mental toughness, and they know how to survive for the months together.
So like आपकी लाइफ में मतलब जो एक सोल्जर की लाइफ होती है वो काफी सारे चैलेंजेस भरी होती है. तो लाइक मेंटल हेल्थ आप बनाना सीख जाते हो, अपनी जो मेंटलिटी है उसको बनाना सीख जाते हो, मेंटल हेल्थ को बताना सीख जाते हो. तो वही आपने कैसे मतलब डेवलप करें, और यूथ को आप थोड़ा एडवाइस कर दो इसके बारे में, मेंटल हेल्थ को मेंटेन करने के बारे में, तो सही रहेगा सर.
See, very simple thing, Harshit. First thing is that, see, health. There are 4 kinds of health. When you talk about the health, first is your physical health. Then is your mental health. Then is your social health.
Yeah.
And thereafter it is a spiritual health. So what is physical health? Physical health is that you keep yourself fit. Okay, fit in the sense you don't have any bodily problem. You are not overweight. You are physically tough. You are ailment free. No disease. That is your physical fitness. You can run, you can jog, you can walk. Okay. So these are the kind of things which are done in army regularly, which we call it a PPT and BPET. PPT is the physical training. Okay. BPT is battle proficiency training, where you are with the weight behind and the weapon, you are made to run and do all the exercise, obstacle, everything is you are made to do. So that takes care of your physical fitness. Now, how you keep your mentally strong? To keep yourself mentally strong, you should read the good literature. You should read the good literature, self-development books. You know, mind in a day, every normal human being gets at least 80,000 thoughts per day.
Yeah.
80,000 thoughts. And out of 80,000 thoughts, 70 to 80% are negative thoughts. 70 to 80% are negative thoughts. Now, if you remove this negativity or negative thoughts, you will be mentally very fit. How do you do that? For doing that, you should read a literature which motivates you, inspires you, which is self-developing. Okay. Read those kind of books and literature. Inspiring. Okay. Yes. Also, do some exercise of gratitude. Okay. Be grateful that whatever you are today because of people who has helped you, your parents, your gurus, your friends, your colleagues. Everybody contributes toward your life. So be grateful to them. Okay. Then visualize or imagine yourself that what you want to achieve in life. Okay. Then of course, exercise. Physically fit है तो आप mentally fit में contribute करें. Then read the literature. So this is basically the giver. Giver is the formula to keep yourself mentally fit. Giver is gratitude. I is for imagine yourself, whatever you want to become, dreams. V is visualize yourself to become like that. E is do exercises. And R is read everything, good things. So this giver, Giver, will help you to keeping you mentally fit. Then it comes your social health. Social health means keep a good relation with everyone around you. Then emotional health. I told you already the formula E plus R is equal to. Maintain that. If you can maintain that, nobody can beat you emotionally. And finally, the spiritual health. Do something good every day to somebody.
Wow.
Help someone.
Yeah.
Whatever way, not necessarily monetarily. You can help anyway.
Yes, sir.
And if you follow all these things, you will be mentally tough. Physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness, emotional fitness, and your social fitness. If you are everything you have, you become mentally tough.
सर लाइक आपकी जो जॉब है वो काफी एक बहुत बड़ी पोस्ट थी आपकी जब आप थे वहां पर, तो लीडरशिप एक पर्सन की लाइफ में बहुत मैटर करती है और सोल्जर्स बहुत ज्यादा सीखते हैं लीडरशिप, मतलब एकदम से किसी को एक ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन के अंदर नहीं आती, वो ओवर द टाइम डेवलप होती है। तो लीडरशिप के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे, कैसे डेवलप करें, कैसे एक सोल्जर डेवलप करते हैं?
See, leadership में there is a word lead.
Yeah.
L-E-A-D.
Yeah.
So L is for learning. You are always in the learning mode. You always learn. Okay. L is for learn. Then E is empathy. You are empathetic towards your team members. Okay. Then A is for accept. Accept the people as they are. Then develop them, train them the way you want. And the D is that you should have a decision-making power. So that is the lead. Okay. If you follow this, then you will become an effective leader. So leader, first of all, he is a dream student. He always learns. He takes care of his team. Okay. He trains them well before any execution of task. And there is a difference between the leader and the manager. So leader is always in the front. Whatever he wants you to do as a team member, he will be in the front. He will not be behind that you go first and then I will follow. No, leader will always be in the lead, in the front. Where the manager in the corporate will say, you go and do it, I am sitting watching here. Okay, that is not the case in the leadership. Leadership is that if I have to fight the enemy, I will be in the first, in the front. I will be ready to sacrifice my life first. Then I will ask my team member to come and along with me. And then only they follow you. They follow you blindly because you are the leader.
Yeah.
They follow you blindly. You are the influencer. On the one word of command of yours, they can sacrifice their life.
Yeah.
That is the leader.
So like डिसीजन मेकिंग जैसे आपने बात कही है, तो वो सोल्जर्स के लिए पैनिक टाइम में जब आपको ये होता है कि अब क्या चूज करें, एकदम से स्टक नहीं करता और हर एक पर्सन वहां पर स्टक हो जाता है कि यार इस टाइम पे क्या डिसीजन लेना चाहिए था हमारे, तो वो डिसीजन मेकिंग के बारे में थोड़ा सा समझाओ तो सही है।
See, I tell you one incident, then you will better understand that how we call it a crisis management. Okay, when the crisis come. And you know, crisis is a Latin word. Okay. And if you see the meaning of crisis, Google it, or you see in the dictionary, it's a point of decision. Okay. Crisis is a point of decision. Literal meaning of this word. So I was way back in 1988. I was a part of an exercise. I was doing an exercise. Okay. And this exercise, because I was a communication engineer, So I was responsible as a captain that time for a communication chain starting from place called Bhatinda in Punjab to Bikaner in Rajasthan. So there were around maybe 10 to 12 repeater stations. And each repeater station of that communication, it is like a something cell site. आजकल जो मोबाइल की सेल होती है ना, कि यहाँ नोड लग गया, एक वहां नोड लग गया, टावर जिसे आप बोलते हो, ओके, तो वैसे ही दैट डिटैचमेंट होता था. सो हर 25 किलोमीटर 20 किलोमीटर में एक डिटैचमेंट वेयर वन व्हीकल or two vehicle with the antenna and the communication equipment. And likewise, and I was stationed at in between somewhere where I used to supervise, or you can say responsible for the entire chain of communication. And I used to visit them in the evening, morning to evening, every detachment, one by one. Okay. So when I reached one of the detachment in that chain of communication, and that was somewhere in the June, it was middle of summer, and where the temperature was up to the extent of 50 degrees or so, okay, in the desert, okay. So when I reached that detachment, somewhere in the evening, when the sun was just about to set, okay, it was going to be a little dark. I was in the jeep. I reached the detachment. That vehicle of the detachment was maybe around 15 meters from me. The distance between my jeep, where I parked my jeep, and where the vehicle was there, 15 meters. There was, towards my right, there was another vehicle. It was of the fuel vehicle, where the diesel was there, petrol was there. And it was a smaller vehicle, which we call it a 1 ton. And that where the communication equipment there, that vehicle is called 3 ton, bigger truck. And this 1 ton is a smaller truck where the fuel was there. And this fuel was being offloaded from this vehicle into the drums. Because that storage was the drums only in the desert. And from that, they use it for those communication. Because the communication vehicle, that communication used to run 24/7 because it is the exercise. Yeah. And if you don't run it, because there is no electricity, anything, only generators used to run. And that requires fuel. So this fuel was being unloaded from this smaller vehicle 1 ton for that bigger vehicle 3 ton. And 2-3 Jawans were helping each other. And how they were doing it, they were just pouring from the drums to the another container which was kept on the ground. Now, one Jawan who was watching this whole exercise, he saw that fuel is pilfering. Means बिखर रहा था इधर उधर. So just to help that कि नहीं बिखरे, और अंधेरा हो रहा था धीमे धीमे. So he came with the lantern, you know the lantern, that kerosene. Yeah. Okay, kerosene wala, or that is given you for the night में to work when you don't have a light and all. So he came with that lantern to show them भाई के जो fuel गिर रहा है वो न गिरे क्योंकि अंधेरा हो रहा था. But he didn't realize that because of that heat, summer, so much heat, there were a lot of fumes in the environment. Yeah. Okay, fumes of the diesel and that petrol. Yeah, and the moment he reached, and I was there 10 meters away, I was just watching because the senior Jawan who came to give me the report that this is what is happening, and I am watching that this guy is going there, and the moment he reached there, that place where the fuel was being offloaded, it caught fire. It caught fire, massive fire. Yeah. Because the fumes were there all around in the environment. And the moment it was on fire, everybody started running. There were 10-15 Jawan, all started running away from that and the vehicle. And I am watching there. It's a fraction of a second, I took a decision that though everyone was running away from the vehicle, I ran toward the vehicle. And it came into my mind that immediately that since it was a desert, so there was sand all around. So I started throwing sand myself. And at the same time, I started exhorting all the people, or kept on shouting, "Wapas aao, red dalo, red dalo." And when I did this, everybody came running back. And then everybody started throwing sand from all directions. And finally, the fire was extinguished. Yeah. Now, this is called crisis. How to take a decision in the crisis. Had I also run away from that point of time, then the entire vehicle would have been burnt, including that communication vehicle. Maybe that even one odd chap would have lost life, and I would have court-martialed. I would have not be sitting in front of you like this. Okay. So this is called the crisis point, the point of decision. So when you are at a point of decision, if this is the point of decision, from point of decision, always two ways goes. One is right, another is left. Now, if you take the right path, you will be the winner. If you take the left path, you will be the loser. And that we call it a crisis management. And that wisdom comes when you are mentally strong, you are proactive, you are positive, and you know your job.
सर आपने काफी कुछ चीजें बताई, बट एक मेरे यहाँ पर एक और क्वेश्चन आ रहा है कि स्ट्रेटजीज बनाना बहुत जरूरी होता है. लाइक अगर आपको वॉर में जाना है तो आप पूरी प्री प्लान करके जाते हो कि हाँ हम ये कर रहे होंगे, हम वो कर रहे होंगे, बट कई बार स्ट्रेटजीज को आपको तोड़ना भी पड़ जाता है. लाइक अगर कुछ अनएक्सपेक्टेड आपके साथ हो जाए तो आप कुछ और एक्शन भी लेने पड़ते हैं. तो स्ट्रेटजीज की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है, और फिर जब आपको अनएक्सपेक्टेड स्ट्रेटजीज बनानी पड़ती है, अनएक्सपेक्टेड डिसीजन लेने पड़ते हैं, तो वो कैसे करें, तो वो बता दो.
So, Harshit, it is like this. What strategy you are calling it, we call it planning. Okay.
Yeah.
Planning is very important. And this planning, when you go for any operations or for any war or any exercise or anything, you plan the things well in advance to the minutest of detail. You plan minutest of the detail. You do a war gaming, making the sand models of that area. You make a sand model, and then you plan that, yes, if enemy is coming from this side and we are going from this side, how do we attack? How do we defend? And which all obstacle will come?
Yeah.
Which also we try to anticipate everything. First we do it off the map, then we do it by making the sand model. So that practice is done for the months together. So when you are in the peace time, that is the time you do this exercise only. You do these plannings only. When will come that day when you will be required to execute that plan? So you do every year this planning exercise, every year, which is very important. Okay. And those are kept as a, you can say that a model that, yes, if required, we will follow this. And that brainstorming takes place.
Yeah.
That brainstorming takes place in the presence of senior officers who have more experience. They correct you then. Okay. And then whatever is the combined solution, the democratic way, that solution is taken as a final, this thing which is kept as a record in for future if required. So that is the planning part. Now comes the question, you go on with that plan, but when you reach actual on the ground, because the nature में कुछ भी हो सकता है. Nature doesn't go the way you plan it.
Yeah.
Okay. Real life situation doesn't go the way you plan it.
Yeah.
Real life में तो कुछ भी बदल सकता है, कभी भी बदल सकता है. As I showed you this incident of the fire, nobody thought of this will happen.
Yeah.
So real life में you have to be ready for anything. So the importance of the planning and the training is, if you have trained well during the peace time, or if you have planned well during the peace time, then you are really capable of doing well. Even if some unprecedented, okay, or unknown situation appears, you can take a corrective action then and there.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. But for that, you must have done a good planning, good training during the peace time. So there is a quotation. If you sweat in the peace, okay, the more you sweat in the peace, less you bleed in the war. यदि आप पीस में पसीना बहाएंगे, चाहे वाई वे ऑफ एक्सरसाइज है, वाई वे ऑफ प्लेइंग है, वाई वे ऑफ फिजिकल है, वाई वे ऑफ दिस ट्रेनिंग है, पीस में जितना पसीना बहाएंगे उतना ही कम खून आपको वॉर में बहाना पड़ेगा. That is the meaning of this. So what you said is strategy planning is very important to achieve your strategic goals. in life. They say true for the life, true for the war also. Everything which is true for the army or the war or exercise is also true for your life as well. If life is like a battlefield, life is like a battlefield. If you want to win that, you win it like a warrior.
सर आपने बहुत कुछ चीजें बताई और एक मेरे दिमाग में एक और क्वेश्चन आता है कि एक प्राउड मूवमेंट क्या होती है एक सोल्जर के लिए और उनकी फैमिली के लिए कि जो आपको लगती है.
See, the proudest moment of any soldier is that whatever task is assigned to him, okay, whatever task is assigned to him, if he achieved that to his own satisfaction, to the satisfaction of his superiors, to the satisfaction of the nation, okay, once he is able to defend the interest of the nation, there is nothing proud moment better than that. Of course, whenever you are in the war, you are ready to supreme sacrifice. But it is not that you sacrifice yourself then. Means by defeating the enemy, and if you achieve your goals, you achieve your objectives, that is the proudest moment for anybody in the army or defense. And that, of course, for the family also. Doing your job assigned to you well is the proudest moment.
लास्ट में एक आपसे सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा कि जब आपने अपनी आर्मी को छोड़ा तो आपने अपनी क्या क्या लर्निंग सीखी, मतलब जो आप अपनी लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो तो लाइफ जो व्यूअर्स हैं वो देख रहे हैं वो भी अपनी लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके, तो आप क्या एडवाइस करना चाहोगे?
Harshit, you are right that I left army after around 24 years and I worked in the corporate for around 13 years. Okay. And I have seen the people in the corporate, because of a lot of ignorance, self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging traits, fear of failures, fear of judgment. These are the things which are bugging them. These are the things which is not allowing them to exploit their full potential. Doesn't allow them to take full potential because they are not aware that what they don't know, they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Okay. So this thing which when I realized that, and then I thought how to help this community, especially the slot mid-career professionals, because they get into so much involved in their everything around, okay, maybe job or maybe their family responsibilities, maybe the children or paying EMI, paying this thing, responsibility, but they forget about themselves. They forget about their health. They forget about their life itself. They only live for living. They stop living for life. So it's very important that you should live for the life. And how you can do that? I have a good suggestion for the people that become a warrior of your life. Become a warrior. And what is warrior? That is an acronym, WARRIOR. As I said, that if life is a battlefield, that why don't you fight like a warrior? So in this warrior word, the W is winning mindset. You should have a mind of a winner. Never give it up. Okay, never give it up. Then A is attitude of gratitude. Positive attitude. The next letter R is remove clutter from your life. The clutter, many things happening around you. The physical clutter, emotional clutter, digital clutter. Don't unnecessarily waste your energy in all the time in the mobile and other things. Do something which is required. Use it as use the technology as a useful tool for you, not a destructive tool for you. Okay, that is removing clutter. Then there could be mental clutter. Keep away from those negative peoples. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is R, 1R. The second R, reinvent yourself. Okay. Always see that how you can improve yourself, how you can improve it. This is reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
Then is the I, letter number 5. That I means be a person who can inspire others and even get inspired by the people who have achieved more than you. So inspire others who are, you think that they need your help, they need inspiration from you. So do that kind of thing. And you also get inspired from the people whom you think that they are the role model for you.
Yeah.
The next letter is O. Overcome your procrastination. That means that procrastination is equivalent to poverty. Don't keep delaying the thing, keep postponing the thing. Because the more you are postponing the thing, more you are losing your opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay. So overcome your procrastination. The day you will overcome your procrastination, let me assure you, life will be beautiful. होता क्या है, हम सब लोग जो है आज नहीं कल कर लें, कल नहीं परसों कर लें, यार उस चक्कर में you lose out all the opportunities of life. Then next comes last R, and that R is reap the rewards. When you have done all WARRIO, then you have become a version 2 of yourself. Then you can reap the rewards.
Yeah.
Celebrate yourself. And then R stands for ROTI, ROTI. Return on time invested. Whatever time you have invested in these 6 letters, winning mindset, attitude of gratitude, reinvention, and all these things, that investment of time, whatever return you will get, you will reap the rewards of goodness or becoming version 2. So follow this framework of warrior, you will become a successful and very honored person.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आप मेरे चैनल पर आए, आपने काफी कुछ चीजें ज्ञान दिया. मतलब सर, इंडियन सोल्जर्स जो मैंने सपनों में सुना था कि लाइक ऐसे होते हैं, उनकी मेंटेलिटी ऐसी होती है, आज आपके साथ कॉन्वर्सेशन करके काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला सर. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर. एंड सर, मैं बस इस पॉडकास्ट में मैं बिल्कुल इंडल्ज हो गया था कि लाइक हाँ, मतलब मेरे को बहुत कुछ चीजें अभी भी है, उत्सुकता है, बट अभी टाइम भी हमें को देखना है क्योंकि आपकी भी इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग्स होती हैं. सो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर. एंड मैं अपने व्यूअर्स को बताना चाहूंगा कि सारे लिंक सर के डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएंगे, तो आप एक बार वहां से आप उनसे बात कर सकते हो, सर से बात कर सकते हो और बहुत सारी चीजें और पता कर सकते हो. एंड सर, मैं अगर फ्यूचर में मेरे को फिर से मौका मिला आपसे बात करने का, तो सर आपके साथ सेकंड पॉडकास्ट भी करना चाहूंगा सर. So अगर आप
it will be my pleasure, Harshit, and I'm very happy that as a young lad or say graduate, you're doing engineering graduation and you have this wonderful growth mindset. I must say, it's a growth mindset that you are doing such a good job and helping others who will be listening this, and they will get a lot of value with this your podcast. And I must congratulate you for that.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, यहाँ पर इस पॉडकास्ट को एंड करते हैं. सभी व्यूअर्स को बाय.